Hello, Earth Tribe. Welcome to my channel, Sky Above, Earth Below. My name is Renee, and you're watching a timeless general pick-a-card reading. Today we're asking, what would you do if you had no fear? Spirit inspired me with this topic this morning, so I'm excited for this reading, and I hope you are too. But before I start, if you'd like to book a reading with me, my information is in the description box below, as well as links to donate and to all the decks I use in my readings. Okay, so I have 3 groups for you to choose from. Group 1 has the Phantom Amethyst. Group 2 has the Natural Citrine. And Group 3 has the Quartz Cluster. Up next, there is a Meditative Shuffle and then the readings to follow. You can navigate as you wish using the timestamps below. Thank you all so much for joining me today, and I hope you enjoy your reading. Hi, Group 1. If you chose the Phantom Amethyst Crystal, then this is your reading. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is I feel like this group is my light workers, because we're talking here about visionaries, we're talking about creating a new earth, we're talking about spiritual growth, living from your heart. We're talking about making difficult decisions in the area of personal growth and starting a new chapter in your life. So what would you do if you had no fear? First of all, here with the visionary card, the light attribute says capacity to envision what is not yet conceivable to others. Willingness to proclaim a vision without regard for personal gain. And then over here we have this card, A New Earth. It's happening. Keep holding the vision. So we've got 2 cards of vision. Holding a vision, being a visionary, someone who dreams things and wants to bring them into fruition. With the new earth, we're talking about raising the frequency of the planet. We're talking about people being in alignment with their heart, their higher self. We're talking about creating a heaven on earth, a new golden age. Here with this abundance card, I get this very much here. I'll just hold it up. Hopefully it's not too glary. But to me, this feels like a heaven on earth card, like the Garden of Eden of sorts. And when we talk about keeping a vision for that, being able to hold space for that kind of change, planetary change, is monumental. It's huge. It's something that has to be done on a collective level. So each person counts, and you are one of those people. And if I could just boldly say that that's why you came here, is to ground that light here on earth. We've got the beautiful uncaging card. This is all about living from your heart, about unlocking things you have wanted to express. It's about making decisions from the heart. You know, your heart is aligned with your intuition and your higher self. So when we are in alignment, we are doing things from an inspired place, from a connected place, from a place that feels right and good and home, from a place that feels authentic and truly meaningful. Beautiful uncaging is all about opening that heart. With a number 14 reducing to a 5, 5s are about big change, transformation. So allowing and surrendering to the opening of your heart. This can be quite scary, especially in a hard, cold world. But that is the work, right? To ground the light, the higher frequencies. Here we have the sword and the justice card. To me, those go hand in hand. The sword is about several things. First and foremost, what I'm getting from this is a decision. There's a saying, measure twice, cut once, because you can't take it back. Once you cut something, you are severed from whatever the attachment was. I like what it says in the book about this card, how the first severing that happens to us as humans is the severing of the umbilical cord from the mother. Because what it does is it allows us to individuate. It gives us the opportunity to grow into our own self, to get to know ourselves, to expand our spirit, to do what it is we came here to do. Each of us has a purpose. Each of us has a soul mission. And it's up to each of us to find what that is. And a lot of times, things that we are attached to in our life, they can be a good replacement, or what's the word I'm looking for? Distraction from your purpose. And it's not that we shouldn't form deep relationships. It's just about coming to those relationships from a place of wholeness, where each of us can fulfill our destinies, our wants, desires, goals, and dreams, our life purpose, our soul mission, where each of us can fulfill ourselves here on earth alongside those who love us and who we love. Those who have our best interests at heart, truly, authentically. So the sword is about a decision to bring clarity to your life, balance here with the Justice card, knowing your truth, discernment, understanding what's right for you as opposed to what society has told you what is right for you or what you should do or what the constraints are, what your limitations are, how far you can go, or perhaps what your family expectations are. The sword is about drawing the line, understanding where you stand in relation to other things. So you can decide where to cut. You can decide what surrounds you. In some magical practices, a sword or an athame is used to define a sacred space. So there's different meanings, different ways to use a sword. It doesn't have to be a harsh or negative thing. It can be a freeing thing. It can be a thing of sovereignty, a thing creating a sacred space. So it's not just physical, it's also symbolic. Here with the sword card, we have the light and the dark. So we're talking about defining within ourself our light and our shadow, recognizing both of those things, understanding that we embody both, that everyone does, but cutting through the illusion of what it is that holds us back from our expansion, from opening our heart, from living in our truth, from discernment in regards to living in a society that has been provided for you versus a society you wish to live in or wish to create. Here with the new earth, it's happening. Keep holding the vision. Abundance. Creating heaven on earth. So also with the beautiful uncaging, the heart, we're coming to terms with our past, integrating our inner child so that we can move forward and light the path for others. With the new moon card, we're talking about the beginning of a new cycle. During the new moon, you don't see it. It's there, but during the new moon phase, the sky is darker. And so this could be a time of confusion, a lack of clarity, a lack of light upon a situation. But you know that it's there. You know that light will come. You know that you can plant the seeds. When we talk about planting seeds, we plant them under a bit of dirt so that they're protected. They sprout in the dark so that they can break through the soil and bloom. And this is what we do at the new moon. So if you have a decision to make, or if you have things about yourself that you're trying to define here with the sword card, balance that you're trying to create for yourself with the justice card, these are good seeds to plant during the new moon. The new moon asks us to have faith, because we have to believe that what we wish for, what our intentions are, what our manifestations are, we have to believe that they will grow and prosper without evidence of there being light for them to grow. So I always feel like the new moon is a deep card of faith. So having faith in your decisions, having faith in your direction, having faith in your intuition, as you open your heart, as you allow yourself to be vulnerable, but also discerning and protective, knowing who to share your light with, knowing who deserves to be in the presence of your light. Some people are not. And that's also why we have the sword here and the justice card here. So there could be, for some of you, likely a lot of you, because this path, when you are a shining light of your own, it often attracts those who aren't shining their light or who have a more darker energy. So knowing who to share your energy with, knowing who to be around. For this few cards, this is a big spread of a spiritual path. It talks about all that you need to do to fulfill your mission, either as a light worker, a visionary, someone who is here to help the planet be a better place, someone who's willing to have the honesty and transparency and integrity to hold a higher vibration in the midst of low vibrations, to be the good in the world, to be a warrior for the good. In the face of so much destruction, control, narcissism, power struggles, hierarchies, illusion, those wanting to maintain the status quo, who don't want anyone looking behind the curtain. That's a metaphor from The Wizard of Oz, by the way. If you haven't watched The Wizard of Oz, it becomes more relevant during these times. So, I feel like if you had no fear, you would make the difficult decisions to create your life in a way that allowed you to be fully expressive and fully living from your heart, so that you could be the visionary that you are. You are a visionary. And right now, here with this card, it says waiting. And so it's this tiny little card that says, I'm just waiting. What are you waiting for? Okay, with the new moon, now is the time to plant your seeds. Keep holding your vision. It might be scary to unlock your heart if you are around people who you feel you can't do that with. So creating the environment, creating the life that allows you to live through your heart, in your truth, with honesty, transparency, integrity. Surrounding yourself with those who you can be your optimistic self with. Yes, we do need to address negative emotions as well. I don't believe in spiritual bypassing. There is a need to address whatever it is that keeps your heart in check, that keeps the past hurt from still being triggering. We want to address those things as we feel them. We can do shadow work, we can do journaling, meditation. So here with confidence is your key to success, new moon in Leo. So we have 2 new moon cards asking you to take that step towards the new chapter in your life, to be the visionary that you came here to be, and to keep holding that vision. The amethyst is a stone of intuition, opening your third eye. So if you had no fear, you'd be living through your intuition. You'd be allowing your heart to guide you. And this is how you live in alignment with yourself. But I feel like most of you have an understanding of intuition. It's kind of about taking the next step. It's more about putting it into regular practice. I feel like you all are very intuitive here with the crow. But this is asking you to become the lion. So, group 1, what would you do if you had no fear? You would own your path, the path that calls to your heart, the path that is in alignment with your intuition, with your higher self, the path that is in alignment with your healing, so that you can light the way for others. You would begin. You would not wait any longer. You would make the decision, and you would go forward with your visions, with what inspires you to create a better world, with what inspires you to create the best version of yourself, and therefore hold the higher frequencies. And that is how we create the new earth. Okay, so group 1, that is what I have for you. If this resonated, please do let me know. Thank you so much for supporting my channel with your likes, comments, shares, and subscribes. Hit the bell if you'd like to be notified of my future videos. And if you'd like to book a reading with me, my information is in the description box below. May all of you have a beautiful day from wherever in the world you're watching. I'm sending you all grounding energy and love. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you at my next reading. Bye, group 1. Hi, group 2. Welcome to your reading. If you chose the natural citrine, then you are at the right place. Okay, so wow, I'm loving this reading. This spread has a little bit in common with group 1. So if you were drawn to group 1, you might want to go and watch that as well. If not, this spread does have a different spin. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is, okay, there's several things here. Where do I start? I'll start with the vision card. What I'm seeing here in the imagery looks to me like a woman holding her pregnant belly. So visually, that's what I'm taking from this card. I also see over here in this card, Exposed and Revealed, this person here looks like a woman in the fetal position. It looks like someone in a womb. Here we have a light where the womb would be. And here with the Knight of Wands, there's another flame here around the same womb area as she has. Also, we have here the Femme Fatale card, which talks about it. I mean, I'm not really getting the erotic side of this card. What I'm getting from this card is a strong divine feminine aspect that is coming through in this reading. In that way, also we have the Sun here. The Sun is all about the self. It's about the ego. It's about pleasure and joy and purpose. It's about vitality, positivity, strength, confidence. Okay, so I'm going to head back up to this vision card because this card talks about what we come to our earthly life with. We come with in this case, a vision, but what it's actually talking about is each individual's purpose, their mission here in this life. And it talks about when we are born, we forget what that is. And so we live out our life figuring out what that purpose is, how to come back to ourselves, what we came here for, what speaks to us, what speaks to the core of who we are as individual spirits. So when we incarnate, we come to this earthly life through the womb. We bring our light down here to the womb. And that light is our own spirit, which holds the secret of our purpose. Our purpose, as we discover it in our life, is all about figuring out who we are. So with the Sun card, that makes a lot of sense to me. We're discovering who we are. We're defining who we are. And then we are shining that light upon the world, shining our gifts, what we have to offer. We're giving of ourselves here with being of service. We're giving of ourselves what our gifts are, whatever our talents are, our interests, skills that we may develop. Here with the exposed and revealed card, and this person in the womb, in the eye, I feel like this card is talking about you coming into awareness of your purpose. And perhaps that awareness has become so strong that you are so eager to get out and do what it is that you came here to do. That's what I'm getting from these fiery energies, this Knight of Wands, the Vision card with the light in the womb, with this card here with all the color and the light and the sparkles and stars and and the person in the womb, the Sun card, the femme fatale and the divine feminine energy. I'm getting this deep sacral chakra urge to live with passion and purpose, to do what you came here to do, to be inspired, to live fully and vibrantly, with pleasure and with your heart completely open. So I'm feeling like there's a big, deep drive within you to just express and create. Here with the number 21, breaking down to a 3, that's all about creation. Sacral chakra energy is about creation. The Sun, all about being in touch with who you are authentically. So here with this card, it says Earth pulsing. As we know, Mother Earth is a divine mother. And the divine mother grows and births her creations in her own time. It says pulse of the mother, slow down, time in nature. So while everyone could use time in nature to absorb the groundingness and beauty and love and inspiration that Mother Earth has to offer, what I'm getting from this card is to allow yourself the time that you need to birth the best and highest version of yourself, to come into your purpose, to birth your new reality, so that you can create a life that isn't inhibited or that isn't limited by societal expectations, limitations put onto you by others, old mindsets that need to be cleansed, belief systems that no longer serve you. So I'm feeling like what you're needing to do is really just go gung-ho with expanding your life, expanding yourself, and moving into your purpose. And with this reading, it's telling me, yes, do that. But remember, the Divine Mother does this in her own time, and the birthing process happens naturally in the time that it needs. Here with a time to give rather than take, new moon in Virgo. With Virgo, we're talking about the Virgin. And with the Vision card and the Femme Fatale card and the Knight of Wands card, we're also talking about potency and the Sun as well. We're talking about being potent as a person, as a spirit. So I feel like if you haven't already figured out what your purpose is, that time is coming soon. And it comes by you following your passions, by being in touch with your divine feminine energy, your creativity. When we talk about creativity, we're talking literally about creation. So with the Mother Earth card here, we're talking about creation in a time that is natural. To go about your process in a natural timing, in a natural way, and this way you do it authentically, and this way you do it in alignment with yourself. A time to give rather than take. I'm getting two things from this. One is that you're needing to give to yourself so that you can be this beautiful, vibrant energy that you can create and shed your light on the world. So there's that. We also have a card of service, so being of service to others. When we talk about our purpose, we recognize that we are not just here for ourselves, but we are here for others. There's a need to give and take. There's a reciprocity, and there's balance. That is a universal law. So, being of service to others is an important part of each person's purpose. It means lifting others, raising the frequency of yourself and others around you, raising the frequency of the planet. So with the Two of Feathers card here, this is the Two of Swords in the traditional tarot. It talks about a decision or indecision sometimes. It talks about having direction, being able to see your path forward or not. Okay, so for some of you, you may have trouble figuring out what you're here for. You may have not discovered your purpose yet. Or you may have, and you are not sure how to move forward because the life you live now isn't really in alignment with your purpose, with your vision, with your passion, with your joy. It isn't really in alignment with who you are. So there is a decision to be made. And each person makes that decision when the time is right. But the idea is to find your purpose. The idea is to live your purpose and to do so with passion and confidence. Which is usually easy to do when you're actually in touch with your purpose. In fact, that's how you know you will find your purpose, because it's something that lights you up. So, what would you do if you had no fear? That is the question of this reading. You would align with your purpose. You would allow your natural passions and creativity to flow. You would allow yourself to be seen. You would allow pleasure and joy and confidence to wash over you and to live out that confidence, to live out that joy and happiness, to live out living from your heart. You would be in touch with your divine femininity, your creativity, your manifestation skills. You would allow yourself to grow and bloom in natural divine timing. And when it's the right time, you will be of service to others in some way that sparks your interest, that is in alignment with how you wish to navigate in the world. You chose the citrine stone, which I always associate with the sun. It's usually a yellowy or orange colored quartz crystal. I get a lot of high vibrational energy from it. It's all about abundance, vitality, radiating. It's one of my favorite stones. Okay, group 2, this is what I have for you. If this resonated, please do let me know. Thank you for supporting my channel with your likes, comments, shares, and subscribes. Hit the bell if you'd like to be notified of my future videos, and if you'd like to book a reading with me, my information is in the description box below. May you all have a beautiful day from wherever in the world you're watching. I'm sending you all grounding energy and love. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you at my next reading. Bye, group 2. Hello, group 3. Welcome to your reading. If you chose the clear quartz cluster, then this is your reading. Okay, so we're asking the question, what would you do if you had no fear? So what I'm seeing here is there is some aspect of your life where you feel stuck, where you feel out of control, where you don't feel like you have power or the ability to get out of a situation. Somehow you feel bound. So I feel like that's where the fear is, where it's coming from, or how it's manifesting for you right now. When I look at the spread here, I notice the Knight of Shells, which is the Knight of Cups. We have the Lover card and the Sweetheart card. I'm not going to read this as a love reading exclusively because I don't feel like that's for everyone here. But I will say that I feel like you individually as a person, that you are a lover at heart, that you come from a place of love, that you are in touch with your emotions, that you like to seek connection, that you are a lover of love, that you are a sweetheart. What I'm getting from this is that you want to come back to that part of yourself. You want to bridge that part of yourself to where you are now somehow. Here with the Extremes card, it's called the Hot Moon because it talks about the moon that comes out in the summer weather. And it's about weathering extremes. It's about resiliency and perseverance. But it's also about getting out of our mind and coming to a place where we can unite with our heart and align with that higher aspect of ourself, to recognize that the traps that we are in, as with the Swords cards they are a mental illusion. The reality we live in is a product of our mindset. So, in order to get out of feeling trapped or bound in some way, or blinded in some way. There needs to be a shift in how you see yourself, in aspects of your self-empowerment, yourself as a person, your self-worth, belief systems that you may not be aware of that are contributing to a mindset of feeling disempowered. So even though there's this great side of you that is full of love and compassion, there's a tendency to trap yourself with the illusions that the ego mind likes to provide. So the idea here is to weather these difficult times, the times when we are really uncomfortable, by seeing beyond the illusion. When we look at ourselves as spiritual beings having a human experience, we can rise above the circumstance to see ourselves in a higher light. We can gain new perspective. We can remember who we are at the core level, which is love, sovereign spirit. So bridging that gap between the self and all of the mindsets and things that you tell yourself, the negative self-talk, there may be subconscious belief systems that need to surface that keep you feeling disempowered in some way. Here we have an older hand with a younger hand. And to me, that's about looking into the past, connecting with your inner child to find answers. But here with the 11th house, this is the house of friendship and connection. You know, connection, we have the lover here, the knight of shells, the sweetheart card, and then we have friendship here. So there's a lot in the bridge card. So there's a lot of connection. There's a lot of wanting connection in this reading. But the 11th house also talks about unconventional ideas. So in order to get in touch with that deeply loving aspect of yourself, to bridge the gap between where you are now and that side of yourself, this is saying to come at it from a place of unconvention. This is saying use unique or original or unconventional ideas to bring yourself to that higher state of awareness. It may be that you need to honor and recognize that spiritual side of yourself. That would also be indicated here in the Seeing Beyond card. Her third eye is illuminated. Her spiritual self is indicated in the imagery. Seeing beyond the illusion of this physical reality. Understanding yourself and others from a spiritual or otherworldly perspective. I feel like you have been called by your guides or ancestors, that you have been contacted here with the bridge card from the other realms, that you have been contacted by the spirit realm. I'm seeing that now here very clearly. Because you do have a sense of clairvoyance. You do have a powerful intuition. And you've likely been contacted by your past loved ones before. Here with the Star Ancestors card, it says hidden secrets, lost wisdom, look a little deeper. What I'm getting with that card is that your ancestors, your guides, They are calling you to come back to that ancient knowledge, that inner wisdom that you hold, that you have felt since you were a very young person. That part of yourself that is deeply and lovingly connected to whatever your ancient past was. That's what's in alignment with your heart. There's something about that connection that you just know deep down inside of you. So to rise above the mindset of feeling trapped or bound in some way, it's going to take powerful change on your part. It's going to take doing something new here with the new moon eclipse. Speaking to yourself differently, living in a new way, making decisions for yourself that are more empowered, getting in touch with that inner child to understand what really lights you up, what has made you feel disempowered, and what really calls to your heart. When you do that, you align more and more with your spirit. You align more and more with your intuition and your spiritual gifts. You have other gifts that are wanting to open up. And I think that you know that. You've probably already been hearing the call. You've probably already been feeling it intuitively or through dreams or through visions. So, if you had no fear, what would you do? You would discover what it is that makes you feel disempowered. And you would make bold changes to change your mindset, to change your inner self-talk. You would understand that weathering the difficulties requires strength building and resiliency, and to not beat yourself up for needing to learn those things or needing to gain strength in those areas. Most times when people are so loving and giving and who believe in love, that's the kind of person where they can get themselves in situations where they do feel trapped because they are so loving and so giving. But believe it or not, there are steps you can take. And it requires taking steps toward the light path, toward your heart, living through your intuition, and allowing your intuition to guide you. And not only is this going to get you out of the feeling of being disempowered or trapped, but you're going to feel like you returned home to yourself. You're going to feel more connected to that eternal part of you, that love that exists within you that lasts through life and death. Your ancestors are wanting you to discover this part of yourself, to face this part of yourself, to face your fear. And perhaps to look for new community that will help you along your path. If you had no fear, you would not beat yourself up for needing to gain strength in the face of your fear. You would think of unconventional ways to get yourself in a better position, to empower yourself. You would begin showing that loving, beautiful side of yourself, that person who believes so much in love. And you would aim that love towards yourself. Right now, that's what you need. That love needs to be directed at yourself. You're bridging the gap between your current self and your inner child. And this is how we heal ourselves. We come home to ourselves. We find that we love ourselves. We cannot truly love other people until we love ourselves. And we cannot love ourselves if we are not being authentic to ourselves. So we are authentic by being in touch with our heart, being in touch with our intuition, and following that guidance, knowing what's in alignment with what we truly want, what we truly need, and going down that path, not ignoring that guidance anymore. And that is an unconventional thing to do in this harsh, logic-based world that society expects of everyone to live by. Living through your heart and your intuition is not something that is condoned by family or friends or social structures. So it is a very unconventional way to navigate your world and your life. But that's what's going to free you and to bring you back home to yourself. And I believe that there's a part of you that knows this already because we have the clear quartz cluster. I feel like you've already been given some information where you know that this is what needs to happen. And so this is what you would do if you had no fear. You have this clarity already. You just need to make the big, bold change. So don't hold back, Group 3. You have a lot to look forward to. And there is so much love, compassion, and empowerment on the other side of your journey. So, Group 3, that is what I have for you. I hope that this helped in some way. If this resonated, please do let me know. Thank you for supporting my channel with your likes, comments, shares, and subscribes. Hit the bell if you'd like to be notified of my future videos. And if you'd like to book a reading with me, my information is in the description box below. May you all have a beautiful day from wherever in the world you're watching. I'm sending you all grounding energy and love. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you at my next reading. Bye, Group 3.